After living through most of my life, I suddenly realized that all the savings I painstakingly accumulated didn't buy me a luxurious life. Instead, they cheapened my life. My childhood was poor, and I developed a habit of frugality. I used things only when they were broken, and dining out became a luxury. This frugal lifestyle has led many to spend their entire lives restraining their desires for an imagined bright future, only to ultimately discover that their greatest regret isn't their inability to enjoy, but their fear of enjoying themselves. The daily lives of ordinary middle-aged people often revolve around a monotonous routine. As a child, I followed my parents to the market, where careful budgeting became a must, with quality and affordability being the only criteria. Bringing home bags and bags of shopping, I meticulously calculated every expense. The frugality instilled in me by the older generation has become deeply ingrained. I never replace anything that can be repaired, and I'm not picky about what I can make do with. Even when a pair of shoes comes apart after a dinner out, I'll still be thinking about going home for porridge, to make up for the cost. This has transcended the original meaning of frugality and become a mental shackle. When I started my own family, I inherited my parents' lifestyle. I gave my family the best, but I compromised on everything for myself. I kept telling myself that saving was the only way to be safe, but I didn't realize that this kind of life only left me with more regrets. I gave my new clothes to my younger brother first, and I kept my favorite things waiting for next time. It wasn't that I didn't have the opportunity for happiness, but that I never gave myself the right to enjoy it. Save it for the big things. My mother's words still lingered in my ears, but the big things I longed for often didn't materialize. Sometimes it was a wedding or funeral for a friend or relative. Sometimes a rare family gathering. Life was always postponed until the next important moment, until everyday items, repaired and refinished, were still reluctant to be discarded. My home remained in a perpetually shabby state, and the possibility of happiness was thrifted into the future, indefinitely. As the novel Ordinary World says, we are not without happiness, but we are reluctant to be kind to ourselves. We spend half our lives scrimping and calculating, always thinking that if we just persevere, good things will come. But time flies, and the present is the most precious big thing. Happiness cannot be stored. It can only be savored in the present. Despite today's abundance, some still cling to the frugal ways of the past. Little do they realize that excessive frugality becomes a shackle, a cost that outweighs the benefits. Time waits for no one, and health and happiness are priceless. Happiness must be proactively grasped. Chronic self-pity will eventually diminish the luster of life. Who doesn't yearn for a peaceful old age? As your hair begins to gray, enjoying the sunset with your family over a pot of tea and a few side dishes is truly a delight. As children grow up and establish their own families, they hope most for their parents to learn to treat themselves well, not letting a lifetime of hard work be rewarded with poverty and regret. Life shouldn't be wasted in meaningless waiting and restraint, nor is joy only worth appreciating after weathering storms. From this moment on, every penny you spend on yourself is a sincere embrace of life, a gift of tangible happiness to yourself and your family. Don't let excessive frugality become a stumbling block to your health or a regret for missing out on the joys of life. Experience the passage of time with your heart, and imbue every ordinary day with quality. Even a cup of fragrant coffee, a nice piece of clothing, or a steaming hot home-cooked meal are worthy reasons to treat yourself. May we all break free from the shackles of our thinking and understand that treating ourselves well is not about squandering, but about pouring tenderness into the most cherished moments in life, leaving behind only the most moving memories. Overthinking about small expenses often leads to missing out on greater happiness. When meeting friends, insisting on splitting the bills can eventually lead to fewer invitations. When traveling, dwelling on ticket prices and hotel quality can lead to less enjoyment and more fatigue. When you omit the rituals that life should have, your life lacks a sense of grace and warmth. Those who truly understand life don't nitpick themselves. Instead, they know how to reward themselves appropriately, making ordinary days shine. Spending money on a hearty dinner for your family, buying yourself a favorite piece of clothing, and investing in your passions nourishes the soul. Spending less doesn't necessarily mean a higher quality of life. Some spending is an investment in happiness, adding to life, not taking away from it. Being kind to yourself doesn't mean spending recklessly. It means being willing to pay for happiness. Frugality is a virtue, but don't let it become a self-criticism. Mastering the art of spending is true wisdom. Imagine being calm and generous when it's time to spend. Openly enjoying the small joys that belong to you. That sense of peace and ease is something no amount of saved change can match. Life shouldn't be calculated solely on paper gains. The joy of gathering with close friends, the smiles of family, and spiritual enrichment are far more precious than the numbers in your bank account. Don't fixate on petty gains, while neglecting what's more important than money. As the wise man said, "It's better to live well than to make money." Throughout life, we should always leave room for new experiences and opportunities for generosity. Practice moderate frugality and spend wisely. Avoid excessive extravagance, nor let frugality become a shackle that binds the soul. Money saved can be earned again, but if the soul becomes impoverished, it's difficult to recover. Especially in middle age, it's crucial to learn to treat yourself well and not gamble on a few pennies for your lifelong happiness. May you cherish yourself while also appreciating life itself. Don't be a prisoner of money, be the master of your happiness. The rest of your life is precious. Don't devalue it by being overly frugal. Occasional indulgence and timely enjoyment are the only way to make the most of this already difficult journey.